Hi everyone and welcome to Display Repair. In this video we'll be talking about the most common mistakes that people make when changing a car battery. Changing the battery is considered a routine procedure. It is one of the easiest tasks to do around the car, especially for DIYers, but nevertheless people do make mistakes when changing the battery that can be costly. It can damage the battery, it can damage the car appliances, electronics and everything else. All in all, you should avoid these mistakes and hopefully this video will help with that. So stay tuned.
DisplayRepair.com. Be sure to visit us at our website DisplayRepair.com, where you can find more useful car and driving tips.
Now, dear viewers, the first mistake, and I would rather call it a misconception, is that when you're changing the car battery, you will get hurt or electrocuted in some way. This misconception, I think, comes mostly from the fact that people see someone touching the spark plug cables or touching the ignition coil and they get a shock from touching that. But that's a whole different thing. On the spark plugs and on the ignition coils and on the cables, it is a voltage of 30,000 volts. It is a system where 12 volts is turned into 30,000 volts, and that's where the shock comes from. People think that the installation on the car and, for instance, the home, the type of electricity is the same. But in the house, it is alternate current, which is dangerous, and on the car, it's direct current, which is less dangerous, so to say. What is the common misconception? Well, I'll show you this, and I hope you can see this. The common misconception is that if you were to accidentally connect the poles of the two batteries with your fingers or with your body when you change it, that you will get hurt or electrocuted. The truth is, and I will show you this, see, two fingers, I'm connecting the plus and the minus battery pole, nothing happens. I'll use one hand, connect the poles, nothing happens, So there's not a chance that you're gonna get hurt regarding this. What you should take care of is regarding your well-being. If you have a heavier battery, when returning it into the battery holder, take care that you don't pinch your fingers. I've seen lots of people hurt themselves, especially people that are not prone to car repairs. When they return the battery back into place, they wiggle it here and there, they put their fingers in the wrong place and they can hit or pinch themselves. So rather take care of this, you will not get electrocuted for sure. The next common mistake is not taking off the minus battery clamp first. Instead, most people make a common mistake, and when the battery is connected, they take off the plus first. Why is this so important? And we've mentioned this in numerous videos. If you were to take a spanner or wrench, whatever you call it, and if this was connected here, and if you were to take off the plus battery clamp first, there is a risk when you budge the wrench and move it like this, it can slip and accidentally cause a connection between the plus battery clamp and the metal surroundings around the battery clamp and terminal, For instance, it can cause a connection with the battery holder, it can cause a connection, with any kind of metal surroundings here. This will cause an instant short circuit, and this can damage the battery if it's more severe, and it can even burn you. So remember this, when changing the car battery, always take off the minus battery clamp first, and you'll stay out of trouble for sure. Also, if you're doing some kind of repair on the car, be it electrical around the fuel system or something else, always just take off the minus battery clamp, put it aside, and you won't have any electricity on the car. Another very common mistake, and people do this often, is not to return the bracket that holds the battery into place. This is a small piece of metal, usually held in place by a 13mm screw. And of course, the point of it is to hold the battery into place so it doesn't fly around in this battery holder. Now, if people do not return this, this is not that big of a problem if the battery has this holder around it. In this case, the Skoda has this plastic holder and the battery won't go anywhere. But if you have a situation where you only have partial support for the battery on two sides like this one, if you weren't to put the battery bracket back into place, if you had some bigger braking or something like that, the battery can move, it can strain these cables right here from the plus, it can even tear them in some cases, and all in all, it's not good for the battery to move anywhere. One more reason why people don't return the bracket is because it may be in a tight place. That's in fact the most common reason. On the Clio, it is a bit tighter, but you can reach it. On some cars, to be honest, it's a bit more complicated. But all in all, the bracket must be returned into place so the battery doesn't fly around the battery holder. Also, a common mistake on this part is that people over tighten this bracket. It's a 13mm, as I've said, and people use a big ratchet extension, use a lot of force, and that can cause the plastic housing to break and damage the battery. One more very big and costly mistake people make is mismatching the terminals and poles when connecting the battery. What people do when changing it is, instead of, I don't know if you can see this, returning it this way, they turn it this way. This is the most common mistake. And on most cars, luckily, just gonna pull this out, sorry. When this happens, luckily on most cars, the battery cable can't reach the poles. As you can see, this is minus, this is plus. Can't reach the poles, and you can realize the mistake on time. But there are some cars where this installation for the plus and minus battery has enough length to reach these poles and cause a problem. Just know that if you mismatch these battery terminals, you can damage a lot of things on your car regarding electrics and electronics, especially on more modern cars. You can damage the rectifier on the alternator, you can damage the ECU, you can damage all sorts of other electronics. So this is one mistake that you should be very cautious of when replacing the car battery. Another common mistake that people make and that can cause lots of problems is not to clean the battery terminals and poles when changing the battery. The common scenario is that people slam the battery into the battery holder, put on the battery clamps, tighten them, and that's that. And in most cases that is okay, since the car will work without any problems. But if you see residue like this one, if you see that there is all kind of crud on the minus and plus clamps, you should take them off. You should clean them. Especially important is cleaning the inner part of the clamp between the clamp and the battery pole. You can clean it with a sandpaper or a file. We made a separate video about this. I'll leave a link in the corner of this video, and in the video description you can see how it's done, how the battery is replaced. You can see the whole procedure. All in all, it is good practice when changing the battery to clean the clamps, especially if they're dirty, and even if they're not, take some sandpaper, clean them, and you will be safe for years to come. If you don't, you may encounter problems like the car will not start, although you've changed the battery. You may have a bad alternator voltage reading to the battery. You may have electric or electronic problems, and so on. Next thing that people, I think, almost never do, it's like 90% of the cases, is that they don't check the alternator voltage once they replace the battery. Why is this so important? Well, if you check the battery voltage, you have a clear answer whether the battery was good or not, and does the alternator do its job properly? Is it recharging the battery properly? Is it charging the system while the engine is running, and so on? If you don't do this, then there is always the question, is the battery the problem or something else on the car? If you take a multimeter and check the voltage, and if you see that the voltage is okay, then you're clear, okay? Then everything on the car is okay, you've changed the battery and you will have no problems. But if the voltage is under what it's supposed to be, then you'll soon have a battery problem again. Especially if you plan to drive at night, in a matter of a couple of hours or even sooner, the car will stop and you will have the same problem. So using a multimeter gives you a confirmation that the battery was actually the problem, and again, it's good practice to see if everything else regarding the alternator and the installation and recharging the battery is okay on the car. One more thing why this is very good. If the alternator is overcharging, so if it's putting out 15-16 volts, then you'll also know and perhaps prevent bigger damage in terms that a overcharging alternator can damage the battery, damage the car's electrics and electronic systems. It can damage the ECU. If you don't have a multimeter, you can buy one for, a couple of dozen of euros, a decent one, and you can do this on your own. If you're interested, we've made numerous videos on this topic, how to check the alternator voltage, what readings are the correct ones. I'll leave a link in the corner of this video and in the video description, so if you're interested, you can take a look. The next sadly very common mistake that people make is accidentally short-circuiting the plus and minus battery terminal and clamps when changing the battery. What's the usual scenario how this happens? Well, the first mistake people make is to take a longer wrench that has no insulation on it. This is a good example. And when they try to take off the minus battery terminal and turn the nut, the key may accidentally slip off the nut, or when turning, they accidentally connect the plus and minus. What happens in this case is that you will first hear a loud cracking sound, then you will see a big spark, and after that the wrench will heat up in a matter of seconds. Now, the good part about making this mistake is that you will probably not get injured that much. You will only suffer a bit of burn to the fingers and you will get a good fright. But the worst part is that you may damage, because of the big short circuit, the car's electric installations, the alternator, perhaps the ECU, all in all cause a big damage. To prevent this, there are two very good ways. First, to be always cautious when doing this and to be aware that this is a serious mistake that you can make, connecting these two battery terminals, and to use a wrench that is shorter or that has some kind of insulation on it. When it's shorter and when it has that insulation, when it slips, first, it won't be able to reach the battery terminal, and if it accidentally does, in any case, because of the insulation, it will not cause the short circuit. Next, big mistake that people make, and that is pretty costly and that can cause them a lot of lost nerves and time, is not knowing what happens to your car when you disconnect the battery. So the usual scenario is you're, tech savvy, around the car, you're a DIYer, you have a newer car of a newer generation, you take out the battery, disconnect it, take it out, reconnect the battery, you turn the key and nothing happens. Or there is some sort of error code on the dashboard. And the epilogue of these situations in most cases is that, especially with start-stop systems and these new modern technology, is that you change the battery but you can't put it into function with the car. You can't make it work on the car. To solve this, you have to have an OBD tool, and if you're lucky, you have an option on your OBD tool to connect the battery to the system. If you don't, then you have to tow the car to a licensed dealership or mechanic who has all of these diagnostic tools, so they can make the battery work. If you have a car like this, especially of a more modern generation, take care of this. Know that on some cars you cannot change the battery on your own. One more thing that I always recommend: when you change the battery, always take some safety precautions, mainly regarding this. Leave the passenger cabin open, leave the passenger side window open, of course pull the handbrake, put the car in neutral or in park and so on, take the ignition key out, the whole drill, but have access to the passenger cabin. Why is this so important? I'll tell you a short story. When I was a technician, I was changing a battery on a car that had a problem with the central locking system, some sort of problem, and the owner did not tell us. And I disconnected the battery. I was stupid enough to leave the keys inside the passenger cabin. It was a sort of hurry and I was to change the battery in a couple of minutes. I disconnected the minus battery terminal and the central locking system just went down on all doors. When I changed the battery and returned the clamps, nothing helped, the car was still locked. The epilogue of this is that we had to call a locksmith, a professional locksmith, and he opened the car. This cost us money, time, and of course the owner was very mad because of this. So all in all, have this also in mind when changing the battery. Know your car and know what happens when you disconnect the battery. Regarding the battery clamps, one more very common mistake people make is leaving the clamps loose when returning the battery. There are two common reasons why this happens. First is that people don't tighten these screws or nuts enough, or the clamps may be damaged themselves and you can't tighten them properly. One more thing is that in older batteries, the battery terminals may be thinner, so the clamp can't grasp it properly, but this is a rare case. The most common reason are either loose nuts or screws or damaged clamps. If you see that either of the clamps are damaged, meaning that they may be cracked, that a piece is missing, that you can't tighten them properly, you have to change them as soon as possible. If any of the clamps are loose or damaged, if you hit a pothole or something happens and the battery gets sort of a jolt, one of the loose battery clamps may fall off accidentally during driving and the car will be left without electricity, and no need to say what kind of problems this can cause. You should always, when replacing the battery, check the clamps. So check if it is intact, check if you can tighten it properly. Be aware of this, since lots of times you have the sense that you tightened the screw, tightened the nut that is on the clamp, but it isn't in fact tightened properly and it can fall off. If you notice that you can't tighten the battery clamp, if you notice that they are damaged in any way, be sure to replace them as soon as possible. Another recommendation on this part is that if you see that the clamps don't properly fit onto the new battery, since on the new battery the battery poles may be a bit wider, the difference is small but it is there, and if you see that the clamp doesn't fit completely, you can take a smaller hammer and give the battery clamp a small tap so the clamp sits into place. Also, when tightening the clamp, use moderate force, okay? So tight until you come to the end and just use about 1/4 of a circle at most. If you over tighten, then you might damage or even break the clamp in half. And dear viewers, for the final mistake that rarely happens, it is very unlikely, especially if you know your way around cars, and that is leaving the plastic protective caps on the battery terminals and then mounting the clamp. What I mean is, when you buy a new battery, you get plastic protective caps like these that protect the battery terminals from damage, from accidental short circuits while they're in storage, and so on. But this is not a good example, since this is very obvious. It is an obstacle on the clamp. What I really mean is, since I don't have the real cap, I'll use this from a bottle, but it will be a good illustration. You have a cap like this one mounted onto the terminal. On the minus it's a blue, on the plus it's a red, it has a minus and plus stamped on it, and it's left like this. What people do is take the battery clamp, put it over the plastic, tighten it, try to start the car, and of course nothing happens. Then they go around the car searching and thinking what may be the problem. So when you buy a new car battery, make sure to take off these protective plastic caps and make sure that the battery terminals are clean and that there is no obstacle in the connection between the terminal and the battery clamp. So dear viewers, that was the complete list. What can I say? There may be some other mistakes that people make. There is no end to mishaps and problems that can happen to people when working around the car. For the end of this video, I must tell you this. If you pay attention to what you're doing when you're changing the battery, and if you don't do it in a hurry, I think that you won't make any of these mistakes. All of this will be avoided. Also, if you're in a hurry and if you have to change the battery, be aware that this has to take some time. In a hurry, you can easily mismatch the battery terminals. You can break off a battery clamp or something like that, and instead of the 10 or 15 minutes, it will go on to take an hour or 2 hours. All in all, you'll cause yourself a lot more problems. Besides this, and I cannot emphasize this enough, if you decide to change the battery on your car, especially if it's newer, always look at the car's manual and see if there are any side effects, so to say, to this. So dear viewers, that's it for this time. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. Please like and subscribe. It's a huge help for what we're doing. If you have the will and the time, watch our other videos regarding cars, car maintenance, car related topics, driving, and so on. Thank you very much for watching, and thank you for your time.